My dear child, there are moments in life when the world around you feels so loud, so heavy, and so confusing that you just want to sit down somewhere quiet and cry. Not because you are weak, not because you have failed, but because something deep inside your soul is searching for a love that does not run away, searching for a voice that does not condemn, searching for arms that will hold you even when you feel you do not deserve to be held. And today, right now, in this very moment, that voice has found you. That love has come to where you are. You did not stumble onto this video by accident. You were led here, because I have been waiting for this moment. Not with anger, not with a list of your mistakes, but with a heart full of the kind of love that moved heaven itself to come down to earth just for you. I want you to stop everything right now, just for a little while. Put down whatever is weighing on your mind. Let the noise fade, because what you are about to hear is not just words on a screen. These are words that carry the weight of eternity. These are words that were whispered over you long before you were born, written into the fabric of creation itself. And somewhere between the sentences you are about to read, something inside you is going to shift. Something that has been locked for a long time is going to open. I know it, because I know you. Every hidden corner, every quiet tear, every prayer you whispered when you thought no one was listening. I gave my life for you, not for a crowd, not for a religion, not for a concept. For you, the specific, unique, irreplaceable you. I did not send an angel. I did not send a message from a safe and comfortable distance. I came myself. I, who spoke galaxies into existence, chose to be born in a stable. I, who hold every star in place, allowed human hands to touch me, betray me, and drive nails through my flesh. And I did not do it because I had to. I did it because I could not bear the thought of spending eternity without you. That is how much you mean to me. Not a little, not sometimes, completely, permanently, fiercely, before time had its very first second, before the first star lit up the darkness of space, before the mountains rose and the oceans found their shores. I saw you, and what I saw did not make me hesitate. I did not see someone I would have to tolerate. I did not see someone I would eventually grow tired of. I saw my beloved. I saw the one I would cross every boundary of heaven and earth to reach. I saw the joy that was set before me, and I chose it, chose you, without hesitation, without negotiation, without holding anything back. I knew the cost, every thorn, every lash, every drop of blood, every moment of silence from the Father's face. I knew all of it before I took a single step toward the cross, and still I did not flinch, still I did not reconsider, still I came, because when love is real, when love is the kind of love that created the universe, it does not calculate the price. It simply goes. It simply gives. It simply stays. When I entered the Garden of Gethsemane on that dark and agonizing night, the weight of what was coming was so heavy that my sweat turned to drops of blood. The ground beneath me trembled. The silence of heaven felt almost unbearable. And in that moment of the deepest suffering any soul has ever known, I want you to know what I held on to. I held on to your face. I saw you, not the polished, performing version of you, but the real you, the one sitting in silence, the one who wonders if they are truly loved, the one who carries wounds no one else can see. I saw that person, and that vision gave me the strength to say yes, yes to the cross. Yes to the pain. Yes to dying, so that you could live. The cross was not something that happened to me against my will. It was something I walked toward with full intention, full knowledge, and full love. When they stretched my arms wide and drove those nails through my hands, I did not resist. I surrendered, not out of weakness, but out of a divine decision. I was not dying to end a story. I was dying to begin yours. With every heartbeat that slowed in my chest, I was making space for yours to beat freely, free from guilt, free from fear, free from the shame that had been sitting on your shoulders for far too long. I could have stopped it all. I could have called thousands of angels in a single breath. I could have stepped down from that cross and walked away, but I chose to stay. I chose to feel every moment of it. I chose pain. I chose death, because I chose you, and I need you to understand what that means. You were not a background character in the story of redemption. You were the reason for it. You were always the center of my heart's cry. Every lash that fell on my back, every insult thrown at me, every thorn pressed into my head, none of it was random. All of it was intentional. All of it was love in its most radical, most unstoppable form. My child, every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's Word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. Beloved, when I whispered those final words, "It is finished," I was not giving up. I was completing something glorious. I was sealing a covenant, a promise written not in ink but in blood, a promise that says you are wanted, you are cherished, you are pursued, you are mine. "It is finished" was not the end of something beautiful. It was the beginning of everything beautiful for you. So I ask you now, not with guilt, not with pressure, but with the gentlest and most sincere invitation you have ever received. Can you give me just 1 minute? 1 minute to be still. 1 minute to let this truth settle into your heart, not because you owe me, not because you have to perform, but because you deserve to know, deeply and permanently, that someone loved you enough to die for you. And that someone is still here, right now, in this very breath, reaching for you. If this message is touching your heart, if you feel something stirring deep inside you, please take a moment right now to subscribe to this channel. Every time you hit that subscribe button, you are joining a family of people who are finding their way back to love, back to peace, back to purpose. You are not alone on this journey. Let us walk it together. My beloved, if you could see yourself the way I see you, your whole life would change in an instant. You would never again speak about yourself the way you sometimes do, calling yourself worthless, calling yourself a failure, calling yourself too broken to be loved. Because from where I stand, from the perspective of eternity, you are breathtaking. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You were crafted with the careful attention of an artist who pours everything into a masterpiece. Every detail of who you are, your personality, your passions, your way of laughing, your way of hurting, even the very things you consider flaws. All of it was designed with intention and with love. But I know the world has spoken differently over you. I know the voices have been loud and unkind. I know there have been people who looked at you and saw something less than what I see. People who left without explanation. People who stayed but made you feel invisible. People who spoke words over you that dug into your soul and tried to plant seeds of worthlessness there. And I know that some of those seeds grew in the dark places where you were too tired to pull them out. I know that some mornings you wake up and the first thing that greets you is not peace, but that familiar, heavy feeling. The feeling that says you are not enough, that you will never be enough, that love is something that happens to other people. But that is not the truth. That has never been the truth. And I want to spend this time with you dismantling every single one of those lies, one by one, with the most powerful force in existence, love, real love, unconditional, unending, unshakable love. The day they drove those nails into my hands, your name was in my heart. The day the soldiers mocked me and pressed a crown of thorns into my head, I was thinking of your destiny. Not just forgiving your past, I was fighting for your future. I was fighting for the version of you that has not yet emerged. The version that walks in freedom and peace. The version that wakes up, knowing they are loved without having to earn it. I was fighting for that version of you with every breath I took on that cross. And I won. That fight is over. The enemy lost. And the gift of that victory, all of it, belongs to you. So why, beloved, do you still bow your head in shame? Why do you still drag yourself through days weighed down by guilt for things I buried in the sea of forgetfulness? I did not climb Calvary to give you a guilt trip. I climbed it to cancel your debt. Every accusation against you, every whispered lie that says you are too dirty, too far, too broken, I silenced it with my blood. I walked into the courtroom of your failures, and before a single charge could be read aloud, I stood up and said, paid, covered, done. Not because you deserved it, because I decided it, because love makes decisions that logic cannot always explain. I want you to hear something that will change the way you see yourself. Your value was not set by the world. It was not set by your family's approval, or your employer's evaluation, or the number of people who liked your last post. Your value was set at Calvary, and the price paid there was the highest price ever given for anything in all of existence. The life of the Son of God. That is what you are worth, not in theory, in reality, in blood, in resurrection, in eternity. And I did not pay that price with gritted teeth, wishing it could have been avoided. I paid it willingly. I paid it with love so fierce it could not be contained by heaven. So it came down to earth and poured itself out for you. Every drop of blood that left my body was speaking a message louder than thunder. You are worth it. You are worth saving. You are worth pursuing. You are worth every moment of every agony. And I would do it all again. For you. Only for you. Without hesitation. Now I want to talk to you about something very tender. Something that many people feel, but few are brave enough to admit. I want to talk about the guilt, the regret, the slow and heavy replay of decisions you wish you could undo. You carry it so quietly, don't you? You have gotten so good at hiding it, that sometimes even you forget it is there. Until 2 a.m, when the world goes quiet and the thoughts get loud. Until something small happens that reminds you of a choice that still stings. Until you try to pray and the words feel like they cannot get past the ceiling, because deep inside, you are not sure you have the right to pray at all. But child, I see it. I have always seen it, and my response to what I see is not distance. It is not disappointment. It is not a crossed-armed silence waiting for you to get your act together. My response is this: I already knew. I knew every choice you would make before you made it. I knew every room you would walk into, every door you would open that you wish you hadn't, every word you would say in anger and regret, every moment you would choose yourself over me. I knew all of it. And I came anyway. I died anyway. I rose anyway. For you. Shame has a very specific strategy. It loves to take the past and replay it on a loop, making you feel like the worst thing you ever did is the most true thing about you. It convinces you that the moment you failed is the moment you became your failure. But that is a lie. A cruel, carefully designed lie. Because you are not your worst moment. You are not the sum of your regrets. You are not what happened to you, and you are not what you chose in your weakest hour. You are who I say you are. And I say you are redeemed. I say you are forgiven. I say you are beloved. I say your story is not over and the best chapters are still ahead. When I said on the cross, Father, forgive them, I was not speaking in a general, abstract way about all of humanity in a distant sense. I was speaking specifically. I was speaking your name. I was saying, Father, forgive this one. This precious, struggling, searching one. Forgive them because I am paying for it right now with everything I have. That prayer was personal. That forgiveness has your name on it, and it does not expire. It does not have conditions. It does not run out when you stumble again. I know you have punished yourself for a long time. I know you have tried to pay a price I already paid. I know you have rehearsed your failures like you believe that if you feel bad enough for long enough, somehow the debt will be settled. But child, there is no debt left. I settled it completely, permanently. And when you keep punishing yourself, you are not being humble. You are rejecting the gift I gave my life to give you. And I am asking you now, gently but clearly, stop. Please stop. Let me take that weight from you. It was never meant to stay on your shoulders. That is exactly why I came. Let me tell you about the moment you started coming home. You might not even realize it has already begun. But the fact that your heart ached, the fact that you looked for something more than what the world was offering, the fact that you are here right now, listening, that is not coincidence. That is your soul remembering something it has always known. That is the ache of eternity stirring inside you. And the moment that ache turned your face toward home, I ran. I did not walk. I ran. I did not wait for you to clean yourself up first. I did not require an apology before I moved. The moment your heart turned, even slightly, even uncertainly, even with trembling, I was already running toward you. Not with a list of conditions, not with a lecture, with a robe, with a ring, with a celebration already prepared, because that is who I am. That is how I love. I am not sitting in heaven with a stopwatch, timing how long it takes you to get it right. I am standing at the edge of heaven with my eyes on the road, watching for you, waiting for the first sign that you are coming. And when I see that sign, that one tiny broken, beautiful turning of your heart toward me, I throw protocol to the wind and I run. Every time. It does not matter how many times you have walked away. Every single time you turn back, I run. That is not weakness on my part. That is the nature of love that refuses to give up. And I will never give up on you. Not after one failure. Not after 10. Not after 100. My love does not work on a quota system. It simply runs every time, without exception, with arms wide open and joy so loud the whole of heaven hears it. That ring I placed on your finger is not decoration. It is a declaration. It says you belong, not as a servant earning their keep, not as someone on probation, but as a child, fully received, fully celebrated, fully home. That robe around your shoulders is not about covering up who you were. It is about revealing who you are, clothed in righteousness, wrapped in grace, standing in my presence not on the basis of your performance, but on the basis of my promise. And the feast, the table overflowing with everything good, that is not for someone else. That table has your name on it. Your seat has been reserved from the very beginning. So stop standing at the door wondering if you are welcome. You are not just welcome. You are expected. You are celebrated. And the one who prepared this place for you is also the one running toward you right now, calling your name with more joy than you have ever heard in any human voice. My child, we are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit our Ko-Fi or PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. Dear one, I know you compare yourself to others. I know you look around and see people who seem to have it all figured out. People who pray beautifully and serve faithfully and carry themselves with a spiritual confidence that makes you feel like a child who does not know the rules of the game yet. And in those quiet moments of comparison, something inside you shrinks and whispers. Maybe love like that is for them. Maybe grace like that is for people who started better, who stumbled less, who kept more of their faith intact. But my love, hear me clearly now. I did not come for the polished. I did not die for the display case. I came for the shattered. I came for the ones holding themselves together with trembling hands. I came for the ones who have cried in bathroom stalls trying to compose themselves before walking back into the world. I came for the ones whose prayers are more groans than words. I came for the ones who are barely keeping the faith alive, who whisper, "I still believe," on the days when everything in them is screaming the opposite. That person, that fragile, exhausted, messy searching person, that is exactly who I came for. Not the version of you that you wish you were. You, the real you, the unpolished, undone, honest you. That is the you I want. That is the you I love. That is the you I laid down my life for. I am not the God who stands at the edge of your mess with a clipboard checking off everything you need to fix before I will step in. I am the God who walks straight into the mess, rolls up his sleeves, and kneels down beside you. I am the God who eats with the rejected, who touches the ones everyone else avoids, who seeks out the lost sheep, not with frustration, but with celebration. My favorite place to show up is in the middle of a mess, because that is where grace gets to do what nothing else can. That is where my glory shines the brightest, not in the polished performance, but in the raw, gritty, real moment of redemption. You have asked me, maybe not out loud, maybe just in the quiet of your heart, am I too complicated for love? And my answer is this: I am not complicated by you. I am completed by you. There is no version of you that surprises me. There is no corner of your soul that makes me want to step back. Every part of you, the part you love, the part you hide, the part you have never shown anyone, I know all of it. I chose all of it, and I choose it still. Today, in this moment, without reservation and without a timer running, please take just a moment right now, and if this message has been speaking to your heart, if you feel that something in you is being touched and stirred, please subscribe to this channel and share this video with someone who needs to hear these words today. You never know whose life could change because you shared something true. Be part of this. Be part of reaching the ones who feel forgotten. There is something else I want to speak to, something that lives in the very deep and quiet places of who you are. It is the ache. The low, constant, difficult to name ache that does not go away even when things are going well. The one that shows up at celebrations and makes you feel strangely hollow. The one that surfaces after the applause fades, after the achievement is reached, after the relationship is found, and whispers, "Is this really it? Is there not something more?" That ache is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something was always right about you. I placed eternity inside you, long before you were born. I wove into the very fabric of your soul a longing for something that this world could never satisfy. A longing for me, for the real, for the lasting, for the holy. That ache you feel is your soul remembering heaven. It is your heart reaching for the home it has always known existed, even when your mind was not sure. You have tried to fill that ache with so many things, and I am not saying that to shame you. I am saying it because I understand. I have watched you search. I have watched you reach for comfort in places that looked like they could help. I have watched you try relationship after relationship, achievement after achievement, distraction after distraction, hoping that this time something would finally stick. Something would finally be enough. Something would finally make the hollow feeling go away. And nothing did, because nothing was designed to. Not because you chose wrong, but because you are designed for more than what this world can offer. You are not too much for this world. You are too eternal for it. Your longings are bigger than what any human being, any achievement, any pleasure, any success can satisfy. And that is not a problem to be solved. That is a truth to be received. the truth that you were made for me, and until you rest in me, there will always be a part of you that aches. But here is the most beautiful thing. That ache brought you here. That ache kept you searching long enough to find what I have been offering all along, and now I am here saying come, not to a list of rules, not to a performance, to me, to rest, to the kind of belonging that does not require you to earn it, or maintain it, or deserve it. Come to the love that was there before you started searching, and will be there long after everything else has faded. Come home to what your soul has always known was real, the presence of the one who made you, knows you, loves you, and has been waiting for you with more patience and more joy than you have ever known. I want to tell you about something that happens in the darkest hours of your life, when the night stretches long and your thoughts get heavy, when you turn off the light and the quiet feels less like peace and more like a pressure closing in on you, when you lie there in the dark and wonder, does anyone truly see me? Does anyone know how much I am really carrying? I was there, in every one of those nights, not as a distant observer watching from a safe and comfortable place. I was there in the room. I was there in the silence. I was close enough to hear the thoughts you never said out loud. I felt the weight on your chest that made breathing feel like work. I saw the tears that fell when you were too tired to stop them. I heard the prayers that were not really prayers, just whispers of exhaustion, just names you called into the dark hoping someone might answer, and I answered. Every time. You may not have always felt it. You may not have always recognized my presence in the form it came, but I was there, in the sudden calm after the storm of thoughts, in the unexpected moment of peace that made no logical sense, in the song that came on at just the right time and made your soul feel less alone, in the friend who called without knowing why they felt they should. That was me, working in the quiet, moving in the unseen, holding you in ways too gentle for the world to notice, but too real for your soul to deny. I am not the God who only shows up on the mountain tops. I am the God of the valley. I am the God who walks into the dark places, not with a performance of power, but with the quiet and consistent presence of love. I do not always stop the pain, but I never leave you in it alone. And that difference, the difference between suffering alone and suffering in the arms of someone who loves you, that difference is everything. You have asked in the dark, where are you, God? And I want to answer that question now, fully and tenderly. I was never where you thought I wasn't. I was never behind the glass, watching from a distance, waiting for you to earn the right to feel my presence. I was in the middle of the ache with you. I am the God who wept at a tomb, not because I did not have the power to change things, but because I felt the weight of human sorrow so deeply that tears were the only honest response. I understand your grief. I am not offended by your questions. I am not threatened by your doubt. I am right here, in the middle of all of it, holding space for you to be fully human and fully loved at the same time. So please, if you have been carrying the pain of feeling unseen, put it down now. Not because it does not matter, but because someone has seen every moment of it and has been sitting with you through all of it with more love than you have ever been able to fully receive. I see you. I have always seen you, and what I see makes me run toward you, not away. I want to talk to you now about freedom. Real freedom. Not the kind the world talks about. The kind that is really just permission to do whatever you feel like and call it liberation. I mean the kind of freedom that makes you feel light inside. The kind where you wake up in the morning and your first breath is not filled with dread. The kind where the past has truly lost its grip on the present. The kind where shame does not have a chair at your table anymore. That is the freedom I purchased for you, and I purchased it at the highest possible price. When I cried out, "It is finished," from the cross, I was not just completing a moment in history. I was tearing up every contract that the enemy thought he had on your life. Every chain that had been forged from guilt, broken. Every shackle built from fear, shattered. Every prison built from the words spoken over you in anger or cruelty, demolished. Every inherited pattern, every generational wound, every lie that wrapped itself around your identity like a rope, cut, done, finished. The chains are gone, not weakened, not loosened slightly, gone. But here is what I need you to understand. Some people stay in the cell long after the door has been opened, not because they are forced to, but because they have been in there so long that the cell has started to feel like home. The familiar weight of the chains has become so normal that freedom feels unfamiliar and even a little frightening. And so they stay. Not because they have to, but because they do not fully believe they are allowed to leave. Are you doing that? Have you been in the cell so long that the freedom I purchased for you feels too good to be true? Have you been carrying guilt that I already took from you? Have you been living under condemnation that I already canceled? Have you been calling yourself names that I already replaced with my own? You are not your chains. You are not your history. You are not the worst thing that ever happened to you or the worst thing you ever did. You are mine. And I say, walk out. Walk out of the guilt. Walk out of the fear. Walk out of the shame. The door is open. The stone is rolled away. The price is paid. All that remains is for you to believe it and take the first step into the light. And I know that first step feels enormous. I know that believing in your own freedom after so long can feel almost impossible. So let me make it simple. You do not need to take 100 steps today. You do not need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one step. Just one. A step of trust. A whispered yes. A moment of surrender. 1 minute of letting me be bigger than your doubt. That is enough. That is all I need. And from that one step, I will do what only I can do. I will meet you there and I will walk with you the rest of the way. Step by step, breath by breath, day by day. I will walk you into the freedom that has always had your name on it. And now I want to speak to something you may have buried so deep that you almost forgot it was there. Your dreams. The ones that felt real once. The ones that felt like they were placed inside you with purpose. Like they meant something. Like they were pointing somewhere. The ones that life slowly wore down until they became something you only visited in quiet moments. And even then, something in you said, do not get too attached. It probably will not happen anyway. My beloved child, this ministry exists to bring encouragement, prayer, and God's truth to every heart that needs it. You can stand with us through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. May God bless you abundantly for your love and support. I want you to know, I have not forgotten those dreams. In fact, I placed them there. Every longing that points toward purpose, every desire that reaches beyond just surviving and into truly living, every vision that you felt once in the deepest part of who you are, those did not come from nowhere. They came from me. And the fact that the road has been long and hard and full of delays does not mean the destination has been canceled. It means I am a builder who works with foundations, not shortcuts. Delay is not the same as denial. Silence is not the same as absence. Waiting is not the same as being forgotten. I am the God who told Abraham to wait decades for a promise. I am the God who let Joseph sit in a prison before placing him in a palace. I am the God who let the disciples walk through 3 days of devastation before releasing the most glorious morning the world has ever seen. I am not afraid of time. I am not rushing. And I am not worried, because I see the whole picture when you can only see the section you are standing in, and from where I stand, the full, complete eternal perspective. What I am building in your life is more beautiful than anything you could have rushed your way into. The waiting has not been wasted. The years of confusion have not been meaningless. The seasons of silence have been doing something deep inside you, building roots that will hold when the promise finally arrives, forming character that can carry the weight of what is coming, creating depth that shallow shortcuts could never produce. I have been working in the waiting. I have been preparing you in the process, and the very fact that you are still here, still breathing, still believing, even slightly, even imperfectly, is proof that my hand has been on you the entire time. So do not let go now, not when you are closer than you think, not when heaven is working on your behalf, even in the moments when the earth is giving you nothing to show for it. Hold on. Not perfectly. You do not need to be strong. You just need to be present. Just whisper, "I still believe." And that whisper, offered in exhaustion and barely alive, I receive it as worship. I hold it as holy, and I answer it with the same faithfulness I have always shown. Unbreakable, unending, and right on time. My child, I also want to speak to you about rejection, because I know it has visited you. I know it has left marks. I know there are people who walked away from you, some with explanation, and some without, and in their leaving they took something with them that felt like a piece of your sense of worth. I know there have been moments where you were passed over, overlooked, dismissed, set aside as if you did not matter. And I know that over time, enough of those moments can start to feel like a pattern, and a pattern starts to feel like a truth. And you begin to believe, maybe I am just not the kind of person that people stay for. But child, let me tell you what I see when I look at what was rejected. I see treasure that the wrong hands could not recognize. I see gold that the wrong eyes could not appreciate. I see depth that the shallow could not handle, and light that the fearful could not receive. People's rejection of you has never been an accurate measurement of your worth. It has only ever been a reflection of their inability to recognize what was right in front of them. I have never once failed to recognize you. From the very moment of your existence, I have seen everything you are and everything you are becoming, and my response has been and always will be the same: more love, more pursuit, more choosing you, not as a second option, not out of obligation, but out of the most genuine, overflowing, impossible to contain affection that has ever existed. I chose you before you could fail me. I chose you before the rejections came. I chose you before the wounds were inflicted. I chose you not because of what you could do for me, but simply because you are you. And you are exactly who I wanted to love. The rejections did not change that. The loneliness did not change that. The seasons of feeling completely invisible did not change that. My choosing of you is not based on other people's ability to see your value. It is based on the fact that I placed that value there myself. At creation, at Calvary, in this very moment. And I want you to know, I am not going anywhere. I am the one who stays. When everyone else has left, and the room is quiet, and your heart is wondering if it will ever feel safe to trust again, I am still here. I have always been here. And not only do I stay, I speak. I speak truth into the places where lies have settled. I speak worth into the places where rejection has whispered worthlessness. I speak destiny into the places where disappointment has tried to plant doubt. I am still fighting for you, even in the moments when you cannot feel the battle happening on your behalf. You have carried wounds, real ones, wounds that were never fully healed because you were never given the space to fully acknowledge them. Wounds that came from people who were supposed to be safe, from situations that were supposed to be fair, from seasons that were supposed to lead somewhere good, but seemed to end in a wall instead of a door. And over time, carrying those wounds while pretending they are not there. That exhausts a person in ways that go deeper than physical tiredness. But I want to say something that changes everything about the way you see your wounds. In my hands, wounds are not blemishes. They are blueprints. They are not shameful secrets. They are sacred stories. They are not where your journey ends. They are exactly where my glory begins. Every crack in you is a place where my light gets to pour through and reach people that a smooth, unmarked surface never could. Do you know why my son's hands still carry the scars from the nails, even after resurrection? Because those wounds are not mistakes. They are testimony. They are the evidence of love that endured, of victory that was won, of life that came through death. And your wounds, when you stop hiding them and start surrendering them, have the same power, not because pain is beautiful in itself, but because what I do with surrendered pain is always, always beautiful. I am not asking you to perform your healing for an audience. I am not asking you to pretend the wound is not real. I am asking you to let me into the honest, unguarded, real place where the wound lives. Let me sit there with you. Let me speak truth into the tender places. Let me be the God who does not recoil from the mess, but redeems it, who takes what was meant to destroy you and turns it into the very thing that sets others free. Because your healing is not just for you. The testimony that comes from your surrendered pain will reach people that no perfect, untouched life ever could. The world does not need more polished presentations of a painless life. The world needs to see someone who has been through it, really through it, and come out the other side with grace still intact and love still burning. That is you. That is what I am building in you. Not in spite of your wounds, but through them. My child, if these messages have brought peace to your heart, strengthened your faith, or reminded you of God's love, please consider supporting this ministry through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links below. Together, we can continue sharing hope and God's word with countless souls around the world. One more thing I want to say before we reach the end of our time together today, and it may be the most important thing of all. I want to talk to you about this moment, this exact, specific, unrepeatable moment, not yesterday's failures, not tomorrow's fears. Right now, this breath, this heartbeat, this moment of you and me, and these words hanging in the air between us. I have been pursuing you for a long time, through every season, through every detour, through every night when you felt completely alone, and every morning when you woke up and tried again, even when you did not know why. I have been calling you, whispering your name, placing hunger in your heart that only I can satisfy, arranging moments and encounters and words, like these, to find their way to you. And I want to ask you something now, not with pressure, not with guilt, but with the most genuine desire you have ever heard in any voice. Will you let me in? Not just into your words, into your wounds, not just into your good days, into your hardest ones, not just into the Sunday morning version of you, into the 3 a.m. version, into the exhausted version, into the failing and stumbling and not sure I can do this version. That is the version I have always wanted. That is the version I came for. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be present. I am not waiting for you to be ready. I am waiting for you to be real. And real means honest. Real means dropping the performance. Real means looking up, just for 1 minute, and saying, here I am. Not fixed, not finished, not sure I fully understand any of this, but here. And that one moment of honest presence, that 1 minute of genuine surrender, it opens something that years of performing never could. It opens the door between your heart and mine, and when that door opens, everything changes. So here is my invitation, the most important invitation you will ever receive. Come, just come. Tired, trembling, messy, uncertain. Come, broken, doubting, searching, unsure. Come. You do not need to clean yourself up first. You do not need to have the right words. You do not need to know how this works or what happens next. You just need to come. And I will meet you there, right where you are, with arms so wide and a love so strong, and a grace so deep that you will wonder how you ever survived without it. And then you will realize, you barely did. But that is over now, because I am here, and I am not leaving. My dear child, we have walked a long road together today, and as we come to the end of this time, I want to leave you with the simplest and most powerful truth I know. I love you. Not as a concept, not as a religious statement, as a reality, the most real thing in existence. I loved you before the world began. I love you now in this exact moment, exactly as you are. And I will love you long after everything else has faded away. You are not too broken to be loved. You are not too far gone to be found. You are not too complicated to be understood. You are not too small to matter. You are not too messed up to be used for something beautiful. You are not alone in the dark. You are not forgotten in the wait. You are not defined by what you did or what was done to you. You are defined by what I declared over you. At creation, at Calvary, and in this very moment. You are mine. You are loved. You are free. And you are home. Come back whenever you need to hear this again. And bring someone with you. Someone who needs to hear it too. Because this love is not meant to be held quietly. It is meant to be shared, poured out, spread wide, given freely to every heart that is searching. Share this with someone today. You may never know how much they needed it, but I do, and I will honor every act of love that reaches toward a searching soul. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment the best chapters begin. I am still here. I am still writing, and what I write, it does not fade. It echoes through eternity, and your name is written in every line. Welcome home, beloved. Welcome home. Amen.